Verse 14. But not long after there arose against it the tempest wind called uh, Euroclydon. What is Euroclydon? Dr. Luke is using a very technical navigation term of that day. It was to do with the north wind, and it actually came north by east. In other words, the storm came down out of Europe. This was winter time in the storm season. It was a tempestuous wind, and it is in this storm that Paul and all those on the ship with him are caught. Now, I want to stop here and point out something very interesting. We will remember that Paul uh, was in Ephesus, which was a time of triumph for the gospel. He expressed a great desire to visit Rome. It was the great yearning of his heart. After these things were ended, Paul proposed in the Spirit when he had passed through Macedonia and uh, Achaia to go to Jerusalem, saying, After I have been there, I must also see Rome. Acts chapter 19 and verse 21. The hour of darkness came for Paul in Jerusalem. It looked as if he would never see Rome at all. In that hour of darkness, despair, and defeat, God appears to him to reassure him. And the night following, the Lord stood by him and said, Be of good cheer, Paul, for as thou hast testified of me in Jerusalem, so must thou bear witness also at Rome. That's Acts chapter 23 and verse 11. The Lord had assured Paul that he would go to Rome. Verse 15. And when the ship was caught and could not bear up into the wind, we let her drive. And running under a certain island, which is called Claudia, we had some work to come by the boat, which when they had taken up, they used help, undergirding the ship, and fearing lest they should fall into the quicksand, strake sail, and so were driven. And we, being exceedingly tossed in tempest, the next day they lightened the ship. They were out there in the Mediterranean Sea, being driven westward from the island of Crete, and it looked very much as if they would be wrecked on the little island of Claudia, which, by the way, is a very small island south of Crete. They had to let the wind take the ship. They threw all the cargo overboard to lighten the ship. Verse 19, and the third day we cast out with all our hands the tackling of the ship. They completely stripped the ship of everything that had any weight. Verse 20, and when neither sun nor stars in many days appeared, and no small tempest lay on us, all hope that we should be saved was then taken away. Dr. Luke says that no small tempest lay on them. We have already seen how Dr. Luke likes to use diminutives like this. He means that this is really a terrible storm. In fact, they did not think they would escape from it alive. It was the storm that the voice of the Lord was heard through the lips of Paul. After 14 days of wave and wind, the folk on the ship felt that they could not come through alive. They felt like this was it. However, the Lord had appeared to Paul and assured him that he was going to see Rome. With this assurance, Paul was able to stand